Man, Mr. Broaddus. We have a thrilling edition of the Doing All Right podcast today on this Victory Tuesday, brought to you by our good friends at Tailgate USA. Man, I woke up in the morning, Mr. Broaddus. It was 6 a.m. for me. You probably had yours since last night, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was 6 in the morning for me and Mr. Broaddus. I was so excited. Dropped a video this morning, boy.
There you go.
Screaming early. The neighbors probably heard me. It's all good, Brian. Brian, I was excited to see what my defense did yesterday. You know,
Sure.
I was so excited about my defense. I just didn't care how good Dak was. You know what I mean? Like it was one of them situations. I feel like Dak had a really good game. CeeDee had a good game. Pickens was phenomenal. But all I could walk away from with this Raiders game in particular. And I don't want to hear it, y'all, because I know what y'all finna say, man. But, hey, man, look, Arizona whooped you. You feel me? You just can't call the Raiders a bad team and not call you a bad team. You would have lost to bad teams a couple of weeks ago, but you did some fun things today. So I just take that as something that we build upon, Bryan Broaddus. I was trying to figure out how they're going to manage that rotation of defensive tackles. Mm-hmm. They managed it pretty good. The big three was all in the 20s of reps. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to them. Even Jay Toia got involved as well.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if they just cut down on some of this rotation at the edge spot, Brian. You see Donovan Ezaraku starting to emerge as a really good run defender, as a pressure pass rush guy. Mm-hmm. Clowney still doing this thing as an old man, bro. I said, if they just cut down on that rotation, they'll be fine. Dante Fowler barely even played yesterday, Brian. I was waiting on some realisticness to happen in that kind of way. Fowler doesn't do very much for you. Sam still played a good little bit, but less than what he normally does. Mm-hmm. James Houston played a bunch, Brian.
He did.
I say, damn. Okay. We kind of talked about that too. And then it was the idea that if the Cowboys can stop the run with less guys, they did that. Jensen had 7 yards. That with interior pressure, they would look better in the back end, the DBs would, simply because you can dedicate another character to coverage, Brian. Mm-hmm. And I also don't want to get too far without saying that you probably really miss Hooker and Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They can still be bad, but not be absolutely horrible like your undrafted free agent safeties were, Bryan Broaddus. We got a lot to get into. A lot of young guys coming back, making some debuts. You got an all-pro. About to be a Hall of Famer, Quinnen Williams making his debut, Bryan Broaddus. Kenny Clark-Osa had fantastic responses to him being here. What's your biggest takeaway from the defense and how they did yesterday?
Yeah, the clear thing was that you mentioned about with Quinnen Williams and what he was able to do, though, but you had guys also inside play well. I thought Clark played excellent the way that he was able to attack. We talked about it all week long, really, that the Raiders' offensive line wasn't very good, but you got to take advantage of that. We've seen games before where Dallas has gone up against teams that have had subpar offensive lines and really haven't taken advantage of that. So you had some guys that also stepped up their game, and I thought that when you look at also into the secondary and the way they have played, that crew that was out there, they're just better football players. When you start to put Revel out there, you put Carson out there, I'll include Hooker as well and some of the things that he was able to do. But overall, Bland had a nice game coming back, but they threw everything that they had, at Brock Bowers, different coverages. They tried him. They treated him like a wide receiver. They played him with some corners. All the corners got an opportunity. So you talk about the things up front, but really you have better players now in the secondary. We'll see what happens with Diggs when he comes back. And, he's eligible to come back this week against Philadelphia, but they've got him a nice little rotation that they're working on right now.
And you feel like the Cowboys, front office, staff, trainers, whoever's in charge over there, you saying you think
I think he's going to I think they're going to push to get him back. I do. I don't think that Jerry Jones wants to pay him $20-some-odd million just to sit there and do nothing. I really don't. I think all along the plan was, he had the knee issue. And maybe it's a situation where Diggs sees what they have, and maybe the competitor in him wants to get out there. I'd like to believe that, but I think the people in the front office want to see Diggs play.
It sure would be nice, Bryan Broaddus. I think Caelen Carson kind of made the most of his reps out there.
He sure did.
Brian, if there was a guy on this team that was going to beat you, Brock Bowers was a name, you know what I mean? And the Cowboys had enough gumption to be like, well, all right, cool. We'll just run Carson over there and see what happens. And
yeah.
And even outside when he was covering Bowers, like he seemed like he was pretty much in phase for the whole night. Gave up a play here and a play there, but man, Brian, we used to the Cowboys giving up tons of plays.
Well, what happens to them when they play zone coverage is they give up the in-breaking routes sometimes, sure. and then you don't know the difference between sometimes they play in man or they play in zone, and then that's when. The thing that was very clear watching Revel play is that when he plays zone, the ability to break, that ability, you kind of thinking like, oh, the knee might be a little bit of a problem, might be something with the brace, all these kinds of things. No, he played with that type of that burst, that acceleration, the things that I'd seen him play with at East Carolina. So when you watched him, it was different when you start to cover inside routes with a long guy that can run. Carson, a little bit of a smaller guy, but though, he's got the ability to burst. You just need to see that more from him. But, again, second game back for him. But I was really impressed with the way that they were able to carry some routes inside with some speed.
Bridges wasn't active. Elam wasn't involved at all.
See, that's where they've gotten clearly better. They've gone through all these games of playing with bad corners, and now they don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. So this seems to be your core of guys moving forward.
I think so.
They're gonna keep rotating, Reveling, giving him more time to acclimate and things of that nature. It seems like Carson's pretty much locked in. Like he had a ton of plays in the Cardinal game, a ton of plays this week.
Yeah, 60 plays this week. Yeah,
60 is a ton. So it seems like they're going to be moving forward in that direction. We know Bland isn't going anywhere. So when Diggs comes back, it's going to be a rotation of Diggs and Revel. Maybe
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
two knee hurt guys.
I might even consider, like we talked about this, and I know that maybe even looking at Diggs and playing him at some safety. It just is maybe a change up for something. Maybe you could play a little bit more. I don't know if Flus will play more dime with the 6 defensive backs, but I just feel like that they're going to be in a situation where they're going to have to figure out which one of these corners. Maybe these corners come back. Or in the Philadelphia game, and we're going to see guys doing special things. Like we have an idea. Say Revel plays against. I think Revel could be a very good hybrid tight end player. Yeah. And the way that I watched
He's so big.
Yeah, well, he's long, he's tall, and he's got size to him. So, and his ability to run, you watch him at the line of scrimmage, and they're trying to run routes on him, and he's in phase, and he's engaged, and he's turning, he's running. They tried to double move him one time, he didn't bite on that. You figure the first time out of the blocks, like a rookie, not really had any training camp, any practice. All of a sudden, they're going to double move him, and he just perfectly stayed in phase and was able to make the plays or run with his guys. So you might have a guy in him. Each one of these corners might have a special role for how they're going to play on a weekly basis.
Brian, what do you think changed? Revel didn't play a whole bunch of teams.
No.
He played most of his reps on defense. 17
and that was the talk, that he was probably going to start that way.
What do you think changed, Brian?
I think that they got to a point where they were thinking like, okay, the week of practice as it was when we learned about maybe his plan or what they were going to do. It was very early with it that they were saying, listen, don't think about him right now playing a lot of defensive snaps. Matter of fact, he played the first snap in the fourth quarter and then played the very last snap. He didn't play any in the fourth quarter at all. So all his action was first half action and then into the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, they completely sat him down. Yeah. So I think what happened was that they watched him in practice and they felt like, listen, this is going to be good enough. This is, we don't have to worry about just kind of trying to fit him in. We're going to go ahead and play him from the jump and kind of see what happens there. He had 4 or 5 plays before he got the defensive holding call. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like it was it was like immediately he's on the field and then they get the defensive holding call. Yeah. He had played 4 or 5 plays already and had some pretty good reps doing that.
Yeah. It seems like I'm gonna get to my linebackers now, Brian. When I saw Logan Wilson on the field, it was mostly like these passing sets, or like he was a big part of the pass defense. I don't know if that was on purpose. It seems like him and Murray was like on a drive-by-drive rotation. Yeah, possibly, and he ended up playing a couple more plays than Murray. It's probably because of that long drive in the second half, though, Brian. But Logan Wilson didn't look lost in coverage.
No.
He didn't look lost in coverage. And sometimes, man, it's just about cutting the bottom out of something. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if Murray is just simply bad here, like, even if Logan Wilson isn't some amazing linebacker, Brian, sometimes just the whole less is more thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, I think one of the very first plays, it was the Trey Tucker. He was in the end zone. Geno had to throw it to the opposite side to try to make it fit a little bit. But it's like Logan was right there in coverage with Trey Tucker, and I was really impressed by him. Overshown, hadn't played football in a long time, didn't really have a camp, didn't blow your socks off, but you could see him running around a little bit, looked solid. And hey man, Murray had a hell of a tip to get the pick to Marquise Bell there, Brian. So what about your linebacker?
Yeah, I tell you what though, the thing with Logan Wilson, and you mentioned the Tucker route and stuff like that, we've seen them have problems with when they play the cover 2 look and they drop the Mike linebacker and they try and play it in the middle of the field. We haven't seen really the right drop depth. We haven't seen the awareness and all. I think that Wilson did a really good job of cutting off the route inside, and not letting Tucker get to the inside, because that's clearly where they wanted to go to the football. Then Geno Smith read it the other way. He saw it as like, wait a minute, and that it's kind of honestly a bad read by Tucker. He should have probably stopped and come back for the football, but he didn't. He just tried to, he kept his route across. Give Logan Wilson a lot of credit for that. Where you saw Overshown was like some of the blitzing stuff. That's really where he was mainly a factor. There was a ball that went to the flat that he went out and made a tackle on and stuff like that. So there was some. It wasn't any real hesitations, but I didn't really have a great feel for what they wanted to do with Overshown. There was some stuff where, like I say, he came as a blitzer. There was some stuff that they dropped him on. When you look at targets to receptions, for nearest defender, they had 3 targets, 3 receptions in his area, though for only about 18 yards. So, I think that when Overshown plays and feels more comfortable, I was worried a little bit about the brace last night. Talking to some people in the organization this morning about it, was the brace sometimes slides, and when it slides, then it's a problem. They were trying to make sure that it was stable, that it was in place. Hopefully they'll get to a point where Overshown and Revel and those guys don't have to wear these braces, that they feel more comfortable. But that might have been something that you felt like during the game. It was like, geez, playing with this brace, is it limiting what he's doing? There was one time where I was watching him play, and the ball, they were running the counter the other way with the waggle and the boot, and his foot completely slipped on the turf, and you're thinking, oh, wow, oh, please don't be something. But no, he was okay. So there was some movement skills and things like that he had to deal with, some redirection stuff that he came out no worse for wear. So I thought overall, for him being out there and playing, I thought that was a great sign for this defense.
Bruh.
Murray played better, though, by the way.
Murray better play better.
But Murray played better. I mean, and it might have been, too, because of the situation, too, where you start to add some people to the mix. They trade for Logan Wilson, and all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, if I start playing like crap, then I'm going to lose my job.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it was more the Raiders aren't doing a bunch of misdirected stuff anyway? Or do you think that maybe with the front 4 or front 5 guys playing a little better, that made Murray a little better?
I think Murray, I think there was, to me, watching Murray play, that he was more locked in to where he needed to be, where the fits needed to be, where he needed to play when it came to the run. You mentioned the ball that was tipped. We've seen Murray not drop to the right area.
Sure. He
was actually in the perfect spot to tip that ball. Geno Smith thought he could get that ball over the top of him, and he couldn't. And so that was we've seen plenty of time where Murray would drop and not read. He would not move. He just played stationary. And he was a little bit more width in this one. And by getting a little bit more width, then he was able to defend the pass. But, yeah, he's clearly, the target is on him because of, yes, what you have with Logan Wilson now being a guy that came in, and I didn't see where Logan Wilson, where it made me feel like that Logan Wilson was out of place. I mean, there were a couple of times on tape from the end zone copy where you could watch him like adjusting Overshown and making sure that Overshown knew where he needed to be.
Brian, all this is cool, man. All the DBs and stuff with your secondary, your linebackers, all that's fine, Bryan. It's time for the feature presentation, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Your D-line was taking them boys to Slide City.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what that means quite yet. I'll explain it later. But they was taking them boys to Slide City, Bryan Broaddus. And I think that kind of opened it up for everybody else. I remember when the Quinnen Williams trade first happened, Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple national media people. And, everybody don't watch film, and that's all right. It was a couple national media people. They had a bunch of hubbub about Quinnen Williams and his pass rush work in particular.
Mm-hmm.
We know by the numbers he's the number one run defense guy. We ain't got it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still leading the league in stuffs, and he ain't played in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's like that with him in the run game stuff. But as far as pressures, I believe he had 7 quarterback hits, Bryan, and a sack and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid debut from Quinnen Williams just from a pass rushing perspective. I know that the Raiders' O-line is compromised.
Very.
But, Bryan, I've seen Marcus Bowe and Ella Minor take us to task.
Oh, yeah.
Bryan, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It happens. Yeah.
I've seen some miscellaneous folk, inside and outside, take your Dallas Cowboys to task. And it seems like, and I'm not just going to blame it all on Quinnen Williams. Everybody played a fantastic game today.
Yeah.
But Quinnen, Clark, Osa, James Houston, Clowney, Donovan Ezeraku, they all took turns taking Raiders to Slide City. If you can sustain that play, I don't give a damn who the O-line is, who the team is.
Sure.
I don't give a damn what quarterback getting rid of football. If you sustain what you did yesterday, because Bryan, watch this. Everybody O-line ain't going to be great.
No.
Everybody's O-line is not going to be.
Philadelphia will be compromised at right tackle this week,
Philly hurt.
Yeah.
Kansas City got problems.
Sure.
Detroit's hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could be like, oh, they're good teams, they're good offenses. But if their offensive line is somewhat compromised with this D-line that you have, you could do the same thing to them that you just did versus Vegas, Bryan.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. I think to me, when you look at a guy like a Quinnen Williams and the way that he plays and Kenny Clark and the way he plays, and Osa Digizua, I looked at this and counted up. I'm like, we were talking about 5-man line last week. I saw 4 different combinations of 5-man line with different looks. Yeah. And that gave the Raiders a lot of problems in this game. That 5-man, when you moved Osa outside a little bit on the tackles, he was a little bit, the quickness, the quick pressures, the way that he was able to get off the ball. You got Quinnen Williams doubled, there's like 28 pass rushes for him. He's doubled 14 of those times, but still has the sack and a half, still has the 6 pressures, still gets the quarterback hits and stuff like that. So to me, this is a situation where, like, everybody, it's like Quinnen Williams helped, but you saw, we'd seen Kenny Clark get pressure during the year. He did a really good job once again of just coming off the football. And he's the one guy in this game, him and Osa Digizua, when you watch them coming off the ball, I mean, you saw Kenny coming off that football and winning on the other side of the line of scrimmage. So really nice job overall of them, the inside 3. They dominated this Raider offensive line. And you're absolutely right. We've seen games in the past where the Giants have a bunch of names and all of a sudden they're blocking everybody. And we've seen the Arizona Cardinals and we've seen teams just have names out there and all of a sudden they're blocking your guys. And in this game, that wasn't the case at all.
I sincerely feel like the last couple of games, Kenny Clark just got wore down,
He got double teamed every snap, it seems like.
If you watch his Green Bay tape throughout the years, he plays a bunch of 3.
Right.
A bunch of 4-eye type stuff. He'll play A-gap sometimes, 0 sometimes.
Right.
But if Osa's going to be here, then Kenny got to take the majority of the double teams. He's going to be mostly A-gap guy. It's like when we were in camp, Solomon Thomas was he was A-gap guy. Like, dog, why is Solomon A-gap guy? That ain't That ain't what he does, right? But it's like when Quinnen gets here, people get to go home, right? And you even get to bump Os out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the looks, because there were times where Toia was a 0.
Yeah.
Quinnen would go to 3.
Right.
I saw Quinnen line up at 5. It was like Quinnen was at a 5.
Yeah.
Sam was in B gap or something. And
Right.
I don't like Sam and B gap. And then like your outside rush or whatever, right? But it's like you can do a lot of things with these guys and just configuration wise, right? Like run out different combinations of them. I do think Cowboy Nation kind of overthought the 5-man front thing. Mm-hmm. I think they kind of overthought a little bit. I think there's a place for it. Mm-hmm. But when teams line up in these different sets, you're not going to be able to get 5-man front off like that every time.
Right.
But what I felt confident in, and let me give Flus his flag. Hey, yo, Flus, my bad, bro. You did it. Hey, Flus, we've been beating you down for 11 weeks, player. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you, big dog. You did great. Do it some more, Flus. We got a couple more games. We're trying to go on a run. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice if you do it some more. You feel me?
Sure.
Shouts out to Flus. But the different configurations gave the Raiders problems.
Yeah.
And having to go out there, think about this, Brian. You know, when teams played against Micah, like they would have to go out and find Micah.
Yes.
Like, hey, y'all,
Yeah.
Micah's right there. Like that's a big issue. When Micah's gone and you don't have Quinnen, there's not a guy for you to find.
Right.
Now you got to play find Quinnen again. And there were times to where I think the Raiders got caught slipping.
Right.
And they stayed in their regular set or whatever, and they ended up double teaming somebody.
Yeah.
But Quinnen would get the one-on-one.
Right.
And he'll just beat the shit out of somebody one-on-one.
Right.
Which is great. So I think moving forward, since it's on film now, I think teams are going to have to find Quinnen and purposefully go, all right, we can't let him wreck the game. And I think that's even going to do more for the rest of the guys, Brian.
No, you're absolutely right. The way that, like I said, the fact of how much power that he plays with and the fact that he commands the double teams, I think is going to be key going forward for these guys.
Speaking of keys moving forward, we're going to take a break and let Brian tell us all about Tailgate USA.
Hey, thanks, Voch. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Tailgate USA. Tailgate like a pro. They've got turnkey trailers, mobile bars, catering pop-ups. They handle the setup and the cleanup. All you have to do is just show up. That's the beauty of it all. Perfect for game day in your town, birthdays, corporate events, watch parties, and more. This December, we're running a fan giveaway. Scan the QR code for details. Book now at tailgateusa.net. Tell them Brian sent you for VIP pricing.
Speaking of grills and barbecue chicken, Bryan Broaddus.
Yeah,
man,
I saw you tweet last night during the game. I looked down, was it turkey thighs?
Brian, let me tell you something.
And I had to stick up for you with my group because my group asked me, Voch barbecuer? I said, my man could cook. I went over there for a party at his house. He had brisket, had chicken, had sauce, had everything. But no, we're asking me if you're like a real chef.
I am at a point in my life where I'm big on family.
Yeah,
family is super important to me.
Yeah.
So I'm 33 in mine. Mm-hmm. The other men that are 33, I don't see them taking the next step in leadership. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm convincing my family members. So when we have Thanksgiving, I say, hey, let me cook.
Yeah.
And this is my rites of passage.
Sure.
So I got to practice now. You know what I mean?
Have you worked on the carving yet?
So this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to cook the whole turkey.
Yeah.
Because I'm a young man.
So you're going to cook the turkey breast?
I'm going to cook thighs.
Oh.
And wings and drumsticks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm going to brine them joints.
Yeah.
I'm going to wet brine them.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to dry brine them.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to wet brine them for a day.
Right.
Pardon me, on Monday.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to
24 hour,
I'm going to dry brine them for a day. And then I'm going to smoke the hell out of them. And then I'm going to wrap them all up to make sure they're tender.
We're in a situation we pay you too much. You have an outdoor fridge? Do we buy you an outdoor fridge?
I don't quite make enough money to have an outdoor fridge.
You're getting there.
But I bet you Tailgate USA.
Yeah, somebody will help you with that outdoor fridge.
I bet they got some technology over there.
Yeah.
We all going to work on it, man.
Well, good for you for cooking. They look good, man.
Hey, man.
Looked like the smoke profile on them were good.
The smoke profile.
Yeah, look good. Oh, it had some nice color to it. Hey, man, you're talking to a guy that I respect the barbecuer.
I smoked them things for 5 hours, Brian. Let me tell you what I did. Took your advice, and I bought 2 pellet tubes, 2 of the tubes.
The smoke, you put the smoke on, cold smoked them.
I put some pellets, and I put some wood chips in there.
There you go.
Set them joints off.
Hey, man, you might be from Mississippi, but, you didn't show up just yesterday, right?
Yeah, we get down.
We get down. Good job. No, it did. It looked really good. Congratulations on you becoming an adult.
Appreciate you, man. Mississippians will cook a raccoon on an open fire.
Yeah, about to say, man, and make it taste good too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, George Pickens was cooking the daggum Raiders over.
How about that,
Brian? I don't want to be like these other people and make a big deal out of CeeDee Lamb not being the big guy here.
What are we talking about now?
I don't want to make a big deal like everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Make a big deal out of CeeDee Lamb not being featured.
Okay.
In a way, because Brian,
all right.
I would rather live in this world where I got both of them than just have one. I think if you only had Pickens, and we've seen what the world looked like, I think everybody know who the hell Pickens is now, Brian. And I don't think Pickens will have such access if it wasn't for Lamb.
Sure.
Brian.
They help each other a lot.
They help each other a ton. And I just see a lot of people on social media going, hey, Pickens is the one, Pickens is the one. The defenses tell you who the one is. Sure. I think they still fear the CeeDee Lamb moving all over the place stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they do have to account for that, Brian. I see your face over there. They do have to account for that. And I'm not ready to just walk away and say that, hey, man, I ain't ready to do that to CeeDee Lamb. But boy, he put my glasses up. Hey, man, this Pickens character, Brian.
Haven't we talked about this though? We've done stories, we've done shorts. Come on, man. I can't get our buddy Jeff Kavanaugh. I was on with him and I go, the eye test shows that guy's playing better than the other guy right now, doesn't he?
We can take that T. Higgins, Jamar Chase dynamic and shove it.
Sure.
That man ain't getting T. Higgins money.
Yeah.
See, you can make the argument, and it's Mula Getter too.
Yeah,
Mula Getter gonna be like, man, it's the best wide receiver in football, and he ain't gonna be wrong.
He's not.
He might not.
Probably not gonna be wrong.
Right? He might not be wrong. George Pickens, in context of Dak Prescott throwing him the football, he might be the best wide receiver in football, Brian.
Oh, I don't think you're hyping that up in the wrong way.
I'm not being hyperbolic.
No, that's the hyperbolic. Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, if you watch George Pickens. The eyeball test, and this is not a slam at CeeDee Lamb. Mm-mm. This looks like George Pickens at Georgia that Voch and I scouted. Yeah. This is a throw the ball in front of him and let him just go to work on people.
The very first play was a dude attached to his hip on a slant.
Yeah.
And he caught it anyway.
Yeah. This is we had a chance, I know on 105.3 The Fan, we had a chance to interview George Pickens, and I went fanboy on him.
You should have.
I went fanboy on well, man, you've got a quarterback that now could throw the ball in front of you. You now got a quarterback that can kind of put you in the right spot. You've got a receiver on the other side that can make you can now go be George Pickens that was at Georgia, not the George Pickens that was playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers and playing in a 1967 offense.
Yeah.
You're now playing in a group that's going to put you on the move. And what's so impressive about George Pickens is the violence that he plays with the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I love about George Pickens, because that player reminds me of the one that I saw at Georgia, the way he played.
Yeah.
And you're getting that right now. I think the Cowboys have told you something here. The fact that they didn't trade him, is either going to be a tag or a sign. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, I think you have to really look hard of that. Now, I'll say this. There's a kid at Arizona State that's got some similar traits.
Okay.
But it's going to cost you. Yeah. It's going to cost you. And, I know that we'll get to that one. But that Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State is a legitimate Pickens kind of player. But he's going to cost you. Yeah. He's going to be one of those big picks. But I'm just saying, I think the Cowboys have told you what they're going to do with Pickens by not trading him.
You know what's so dangerous about him, Brian? And look, man, I think CeeDee Lamb is such an offensive weapon.
He is.
I have to preface this.
He is.
He's such an offensive weapon, but CeeDee Lamb, I don't think he bails you out in a pinch, because I think a lot of system stuff is at play when you get Lamb going. Let me move him here. Let me motion him here. Yeah. Let me put him on that part of the field and let's see what happens. Yeah. I think sometimes later down the line, Brian, we're going to run into some tough games.
Yeah.
And what I think Dak is going to really benefit from is just some easy ass throws, some layups, and you don't have to think about the Green Bay playoff game. Brandon Cooks couldn't get off a slant.
Couldn't save anything in that game.
CeeDee Lamb ain't the guy that's gonna physical himself out of a slant. He's a guy that gets open and he gets some yak yards after he gets open. That's CeeDee's game.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point to where the goofy technical stuff don't work because some defensive coach has done a fantastic job of like whatever. Mm-hmm. But what you have is GP can just run a slant.
Yeah.
And then he can get you even more. Brian, half of his yards was yak.
77 yards of the 144.
Half of his yards was yak, Brian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Dak gave you 77 yards.
Yeah.
GP gave you 70 more.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
It's going to be a point where we start running into these Quinnen Mitchells.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or we run into these, you know what I'm saying, whoever come, these Tyrion Arnolds, whoever we run into, Brian. Mm-hmm. And they're going to theoretically, because those are good defense, they're going to theoretically take CeeDee Lamb away.
Right.
But what's going to happen is that George Pickens is going to impose his physical will on somebody. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be such an easy throw for Dak. You know those serious plays when it get those big games?
Oh, yeah.
That we feel like Dak kind of shrinks up in?
Yeah.
I think what George Pickens allows you, and run game as well, what I think George Pickens allows you, Dak, you ain't even got to read this play.
Yeah.
Just let me clear this linebacker, even if he's draped on my hip. Just throw it to me.
Okay.
And let's just see what happens.
Okay.
And then Pickens will go be another yak guy for you. And that's an easy throw for Dak to build his confidence, Brian. Dak could have used George Pickens in that Green Bay playoff game 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely could have.
You know what I'm saying?
They needed somebody with some toughness.
With them big-ass corners over there. Brandon Cooks wasn't finna do nothing with them big-ass corners over there.
No. Let me ask you this. And this is my tailgate tip of the day for you. I'm going to ask you this question. When are we going to start seeing coordinators try and take Pickens out of the game and let you try and see if they can beat you with Lamb? That sounds crazy.
That sounds crazy.
It sounds crazy, but with Vic Fangio, Vic Fangio is going to look at your tape and he's going to say, the guy that terrifies me is George Pickens.
Yeah.
Not CeeDee Lamb, and no disrespect, but here we are. Tailgate tip of the day. Can Lamb handle it if teams take Pickens away?
1,000%. Because that's all he's ever done.
There you go.
That's all he's ever done.
There you go.
Some of these teams, because Brian, think about this. You remember I say back in the day, but man, like last year or something.
Yeah.
Like these teams will take Ferg away because he's the tight end. And Lamb will just go, fine.
Yeah.
I'll get 120 and a half or whatever crazy shit it was. I'll go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think Lamb just simply goes away.
Right.
I think you need, man, you're going to have to need like a Denver. That's what I was saying. Like the Broncos can give you problems because they got two dudes that can man cover for real.
Right.
That's what they can kind of give you problems at, Brian. What? The Eagles ain't got two bona fide man guys. They just don't.
Yeah.
The Lions don't. The Chiefs
People will argue about DeJean.
Man, Cooper.
And they'll argue about Mitchell.
Man.
They'll argue. They
can fuss all they want.
Yeah.
They can fuss all they want. And then look, let's not forget, Ferguson got the most completions out of all tight ends in the league, don't it? He's top 3 or something.
Yeah.
So it's always a way out.
Oh, yeah.
I think as long as you can run the football, that's the key. I don't think you can take both wide receivers away and stop us from running the football, Brian.
Sure.
And this comes back to defense. One big-ass circle back to defense. If you just keep us in these games, allow us to run the football, Javonte Williams still impressive. This O-line can still run block. Tyler play damn well yesterday. As long as you can run the football, teams have to adjust to you run the football. Right. If they don't, we'll just run all day.
Oh, I was because
they'll do it.
I was so happy to see them try and run the ball inside because all week long I'm saying Raiders 3.7 inside runs. Don't give it up much. Dallas ran it
because they wanted to take CeeDee away.
Yeah,
they wanted to take CeeDee and Ferguson away. Take Ferguson.
But, okay, am I right thinking that maybe coordinators are going to try and take Pickens away before Lamb?
Coordinators would be smart to take Williams away.
Yeah.
coordinators would be smart to just sell out versus the run and figure it out in the back end. It won't be great, but at least if you take Williams away, all the setup goes away.
Right.
Dak is perfect on play
action
He's
pass.
Perfect on play action.
Yeah.
Perfect on play action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to your point though, I do think that you have a case that at some point teams are going to start looking at Pickens to try to take him away. But this is the crazy part about taking Pickens away. He run 3 routes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't got to do a whole bunch to try to take him away.
Right.
If you want to take 3 routes away from our offense, cool, but we're going to hit your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those 3.
You think the running game is more important to Dak than having, say,
Run game is the straw.
Than having Lamb be.
The run game is the straw. Because when the run game gets going, you have to account a cover guy for it.
There you go.
Then once that cover guy comes down, we can do what we want then.
Yeah.
We can you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mess around we won't.
Yeah.
But if you drop guys back in coverage and if you could stop our run with 4 or 5 guys, we in some deep shit.
Yeah.
If you can stop
I agree with you on that,
with 4 or 5 guys, we in deep shit.
I was impressed the way Dallas. I thought the one thing that the Raiders could do was play a little run defense. Dallas kind of beat them up a little bit playing run defense.
Damn sure did.
Yeah.
Hey man, we gonna keep watching it, bro. I got some plays for you tomorrow, boy.
I'm looking forward to this.
I got so much to break down, man. I got some stuff for you tomorrow. That's what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
We push back one week. You know what I'm saying? But don't fret, we're gonna figure it all out. I still want to do film tomorrow.
Yeah.
And let's kind of do Eagles offense and defense Thursday.
That'd be great.
So that we can still get Q&A
Absolutely.
on Friday. So
Absolutely.
it may be different in other places on radio and on .com, but here we'll because we've played the Eagles already.
Yeah.
So we can dedicate Thursday to like the Cowboys are different. How does that matchup look now?
Right.
That we're different since week 1, and we still.
Yeah, I like what you're doing
because this film is going to be so important to break down. A lot has happened.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that there, and then Friday we'll still do Q&A. We appreciate y'all. Go to our website crownglobalmedia.com. Everything is there. The audio is there, Spotify and all that. Social media link stuff on my channel. crownglobalmedia.com. Appreciate y'all. That's Bryan Broaddus. I'm VOCHLONBARDI. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.